Now we'd like to introduce Dr. Peter Gazarian from Ashland University in the USA, and he will discuss his chapter, Employer Perceptions of Study Abroad, Subverting or Supporting Labor Market Inequality. Thank you for your 2-minute remarks.
Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for coming and sharing your work. I'm Peter Gazarian from Ashland University. I'll speak briefly about a chapter I wrote related to employer perceptions of study abroad. And I was really interested in looking at existing literature to determine whether or not there are differences in the way in which study abroad functions within labor markets and how it influences the chances of individuals to achieve positive outcomes. And I suspected, just based on the work that I've done overseas, that it has a very different function in different contexts, but I didn't see much in the way of comparative research work that sought to document that. And so this chapter looks at the function of study abroad in the labor markets of East Asia, Europe, and then in North America to kind of compare the ways in which it influences outcomes for individuals. And yeah, the results revealed that it is extremely different even within regional, like global regions. So for example, in East Asia, there are some significant differences, but then in North America and in Europe, there are also differences. The key finding was that in certain locations, study abroad exacerbates existing labor market inequalities by limiting access to people to the most desired positions because it requires a huge amount of capital in order to participate in study abroad, and study abroad is considered a requirement to enter into those positions. Whereas in other places, study abroad actually created barriers for individuals who were returning to their home country, particularly, for example, in China or Japan or in the United Kingdom, where there was certain function of participation in local institutions that increased the possibility of a positive outcome in that labor market, whether it be through a relationship between university and employers or through informal networks that were created through participation in higher ed. But yeah, I'll keep it there. If you're interested in any of this, check out the chapter. And thank you again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gazarian, for sharing your chapter with us.